What is going on, guys? ICP is number 46 on the top 100 tokens. Used to be in the top 20 and now it's 46. It has fallen mightily. What is going on? We're going to talk about some truths and give you a real honest update about what's going on compared to some of the information we're seeing out there. What is the team doing? Is the foundation dumping on us? Are the seed investors dumping on us? What's really happening? So we can really talk about it and compare it. I compare it to some other L1s out there. Number one. Number two, I want to talk about some other projects that I'm into, including on ICP itself, that I think are going to do well. Compare those to ICP and also some other DeFi stuff that I'm in that I think is going to do better than ICP. I think a lot of stuff is going to do better than ICP. I was quite the ICP bull, but I think it's important for content creators, YouTubers, guys on Twitter, whoever, if they feel like there is got to be a shift in your mentality to tell the community that, hey, maybe ICP isn't everything it's cracked up to be. Maybe there's something better. Which one will it be? So I started thinking about this because I had a friend recently hit me up and he wanted to invest in crypto. He had about $100,000 he wanted to throw in crypto. And I found myself not telling him to buy that much ICP. I told him to buy a very little bit about it, but I think my main thing was to have a portfolio over many tokens. And I'm actually going to go over his portfolio of what I told him to buy. And he's actually up, even though the only one token in it, ICP, is down. And that's the kind of portfolio you want. You want to have a portfolio that can handle one or two tokens nuking in your entire in it. And that's what I did. I told him what to buy, and I'm going to go over his portfolio, what I think, what I'm going to be doing, some DeFi projects, and kind of giving you guys an overview of ICP and really where I think it's going to go. So first of all, I got hit up. I made this post yesterday because there was 750,000 ICP going to Coinbase to be sold today. And that is what is kind of keeping the price of ICP down. But it's not just this 750. It's kind of constant. It's constantly coming. And I had to see where this was coming from. It's either coming from the team or seed investors, okay? So that's really it. There's nobody else that holds this many tokens. This happens to come from the DFINITY Foundation is what I found out. So I actually said it came from the seed investors. That is wrong, so I will own that mistake. It did not come from a seed investor, but it comes from the DFINITY team. I kind of called out Jerry Banfield and Zero to Hero. Jerry Banfield, I don't really think he's a very good YouTuber. He's bipolar. He's all over the place. He's a good YouTuber in that he's entertaining and he grabs an audience, but is he good as far as what he's telling you the information? He said he sold all of his Bitcoin, all of his Solana, all of his Ethereum when they were at their lows, and he bought ICP. That was a terrible mistake because he is bipolar and he is somebody who is, you have to understand who he is. He is addictive personality. He said this, that his addiction to alcohol and I believe drugs. I'm not sure. You can look that up yourself. He's a pretty open book. You can see what he's been addicted to. Now, the reality is this. When someone is an addict, they make impulsive decisions. That is an impulsive decision. So you do not need to act like an addict. What you need to do is have a portfolio. So if you find that ICP is, for example, 90% or 80% or 100% or 50% of your portfolio, it is time to sell it and get into some other projects and have a balanced portfolio. ICP is a very small percentage of my portfolio. I would say it's a small amount, and I have about 10,000 of it. I have a big bag of it, but if it goes to zero tomorrow, it ain't gonna make a difference to me. I wouldn't even notice it. I just wouldn't. That's just facts. So, it is what it is, but you have to take your risks to the size of your portfolio. If you have $100,000, which is what my friend is investing, I only told him to put $5,000 into ICP. That's all I told him. And the rest, mix of other stuff. So 5 to 10,000 max, 10,000 max to go into ICP, 5 to 10% allocation. And I still believe in ICP, but I want to be truthful about the data that I'm seeing, and some of it I don't like. I know Fabio responded to my Twitter. This Twitter post actually kind of crazy. Got about 12,000 views here, which is insane. I usually don't get them that high, usually a few thousand. So this one kind of a lot of people commenting on it. And the thing of the matter is that this 750,000, and Fabio, I apologize because I said, he might have been paid because there was a lot of information out there that was saying he was being paid by different groups and blah, blah, blah. And he's come out there and he said he hasn't been. So, hey, man, I don't really care if you've been paid or not, but it would be nice to know who has and who hasn't in some respects, because when you're dealing with these guys are constantly talking about it. It becomes like, why are you constantly talking about it? I own more than they do. I don't constantly talk about it. I give updates. I give, a little bit of new information I find. I give you guys what my thesis. But these guys literally have made a career out of it. And I don't even understand how they're making any money out of it. It's just bizarre to me that they're just all in on ICP. I'm not a reactionary person, and I'm a very even-heeled person, and I want to have an even-heeled portfolio. If you want a portfolio that makes money, having ICP being more than 5 to 10% of it is not going to make you any money. When the bull run hits, almost everything, I say almost because not everything will go, but almost everything will run. What you have to do is pick the ones that run the most. And those are the people that make the most money. ICP, I have a feeling will not be there, and I have some information which we're going to go over why I don't think it's going to be there. Number one. Number two, if you go to ICP Whale Alert, which obviously it's tagged in my Twitter, you can go to Dow Kingdom and check it out. When you start looking, you're starting to see a lot of large transactions. In the last 11 hours, 300,000 ICP was transferred to Binance. Another 300,000 was transferred. This was the 750,000 that went to Coinbase, okay? 250,000, 200,000. So some of these are coming from whales. Some of these are coming from seed investors. Seed investors only pay 3 cents, guys. 3 cents. The information is all readily available. I'm going to show you more stuff. 600,000 went to Binance. 500,000. And this is all in April. You're talking an endless supply of tokens. And you're like, well, how is this happening? Well, look what's going on here. Seed investors and private sale. Private sale is about $4, so they're not actually making that much money. But most of the tokens were actually from seed investors early on because they got it at 3 cents a token. They basically paid nothing. Okay. Yes, a lot of people are saying like the last 2 seeded investors are done. There's an allocation of 2.3 and 2.3 million tokens, and that's it. But that doesn't help ICP price go up. Okay. Even if this ends, even if this inflation ends, it's not going to help the price go up because you actually need demand. And guess who's been killing the demand? The foundation. The foundation is selling at $5 and less. That's troubling. The foundation should have a better way of doing this when the price is so low. Selling into a token that is basically already nuked is insanity to me. The foundation is taking away confidence from what they were building. When the token was at $13, $14, $15, and it was all, I think it might have even hit 20 for a second. We'll take a look right here. I think it briefly might have even got to 20. The foundation was selling during that pump, during that rally. The fact of the matter is the foundation has to be a little bit more cognizant of what's going on. Yeah, I think it hit like $18 or something, maybe a little bit more. The foundation basically starts selling and then nuked it. So is it every time we have to worry about the foundation every single time? Well, that makes me change the thesis I have on a project, no matter how great it is. I think ICP is a great project, but my thesis on it is on the pumps, the foundation is going to sell, right? I'm not going to hold next time on the next pump, because we're not going to be able to break through it because the foundation literally has so many tokens. The foundation literally has so many tokens. How are we ever going to burst through? How? It's near impossible. All you got to do is see how many tokens the foundation can just dump. And they have access to a lot of tokens. Why do they have access to a lot of tokens? Well, first of all, right here, 117 million, which is almost 24% of all the tokens is the foundation. I don't know how updated this is, but it's around there. I think it might be a little outdated. And let's say they put 100 million of them into staking. That means they're going to get about 13 to 14 million tokens a year that they can sell to fund the operation. At $5, about $70 million. They're probably going to need all of it because they have such a huge amount of people that work at the DFINITY Foundation. Their expenses are very, very high. They have a lot of people that work there. The question that needs to be asked over there, which is not being asked, I feel, is if we're spending $50 million or $100 million a year and we're selling into the token, are we creating $70 or $100 million worth of value? Is the value there? Are they creating it? Oh, they made a new website. Whoop-de-woo. Everyone's like, oh, look at website. Yeah, I mean, there might be a couple people get excited over a website, but it shouldn't be. They made chain key tokens. I don't know how many millions of dollars this costs, but barely anyone uses it. It has $1 million of liquidity in USDC. Whoop-de-woo. A few million in $2 million in USDT, and it has a little bit of Bitcoin, 244 Bitcoin. There's people that own more than this, okay? So this is a failure, in my opinion. Chain key Bitcoin, whoever worked on it, you wasted your time. You wasted your effort. They probably spent millions of dollars developing something no one uses. Is it cool? Have I used it? Yeah. Is it making Any difference? No. Why don't they just have a native USDC? Because nobody really gives a shit about this. I've used this. It's okay. It's pretty simple to use, but why do I have to go through that extra step of sending my USDC from another change to the NNS or wherever the fuck you need to send it, or a wallet or blah, blah, blah? It's just fucking ridiculous. It's not a good solution. All right? You know, I don't know what people use their Bitcoin over in ICP, or maybe they put it on ICP swap or Kong swap and they earn some yield on it or whatever, but I wouldn't be doing it. I'm not converting my Bitcoin over to CK Bitcoin, personally. I wouldn't do it. I mean, there's such small amounts of some of these things. Why are they even doing it? I don't even know. A couple dollars of euros. I mean, why do you even need these things if no one's using it? You know, so there's no analysis. If you're spending millions and millions of dollars, but all you got is this, come on. It's not a lot to show for it, in my opinion. So there's no one going, hey, let's focus on the big things, make those big things like Caffeine AI. Let's get that to work right and get ICP where it should be. And I got another thing to tell you. If ICP doesn't get mass adoption within the next, I'm probably going to say if they don't get mass adoption within the next year, I give it an entire year, it's kind of over for this project, because the DFINITY Foundation has a favorite thing that they do, which is dump on you. It is their favorite pastime. They will dump this to hell, and they would just keep dumping. They have unlimited supply. They get another 14% a year, 13% a year, whatever it is. They just keep getting it. And as you can see, they enjoy selling it. I mean, I'm only up to April 11th after scrolling down. It's not all the DFINITY Foundation that was selling all this, but a lot of it is. And it's disturbing. A lot of it is the whales. Their tokenomics from day one have sucked. People talk about the tokenomics are improving. No. Tokenomics can improve. It doesn't mean a token is going to go up in price. It just doesn't. It means you have to get some confidence in the community. And how do you build confidence when the team itself dumps on the community? You don't. And if the team's only way to get enough money to pay their hundreds and hundreds of engineers and all this technology is to dump on the community, well, you're probably not going to go anywhere. That's just being real with you guys. So it doesn't matter how great this tech is. As you can see, I'm still scrolling. We're in February now. I mean, these are all massive whales who own hundreds of thousands of tokens. And this is exactly why I will not be buying any more ICP. My 10,000 tokens of ICP I have, and that's it. If I lose any more confidence, I will also be dumping it. It doesn't mean I don't believe in the project. I don't believe the project is good. I do. But it means that I don't believe in the people running the project. That's what it means. You know, like look, 635,000 dumped in February, 4.5 million. And this was transferred. It wasn't transferred to an exchange. It could have just been transferred to another wallet. So some of these don't necessarily mean they were transferred. But when I see it was transferred, you know, to or from Binance, this was transferred from Binance. So that's actually okay. So it's not like all these transactions are bad transactions either. It's not like all of them. But when I see one going to Coinbase, only reason you send your tokens to Coinbase, guys. All right. Only reason. All right. This is solid. So these are the things that you guys got to understand. This is what you need to understand. And where we're going with this, where is ICP going? I don't know. To be honest with you, this is the first time I'm going to say, I don't know. Does it have the best technology in crypto? Yes. Does it have, if you look here at the dashboard, it's burning, it's making money, the tokenomics are looking better, everything, but it is basically not performing against the rest of the L1s. It is actually underperforming. If you look at even the 30 days, let's see where it falls. 30 days. I automatically went all the way down. I didn't even bother to look up there. All right, it is in the bottom half. It is down 7.8% in 30 days. It is underperforming. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It is 90. It is in the 90th percentile, underperforming. Think about that. Just take a second, think about it. It is under, and I look at these things all the time. I look at them, all right, and I go, why is it underperforming? What is going on? It should not be. The price is too low. That is what is going on, guys. That is just facts. And you're like, well, you're too focused on price. Yes, because price, we're here to make money, guys. If you're not here to make money, you're just fooling yourself. Ethereum has outperformed ICP. From the lows? From the lows? It shouldn't. How is that even happening? You know? BNB barely moves and it's outperforming it. I mean, when you start to go up, you're like, what the hell is going on? So that's what I'm trying to do. Let's create a portfolio that's going to outperform the market and ICP, hopefully. And if you look at Bitcoin, Bitcoin is my number one holding. And this is why Bitcoin is my number one holding. Even though Jerry Banfield sold all of his Bitcoin at the lows, I did not. I did not take his advice because I knew there was something wrong with this person for even suggesting this, because he does not understand. You have to have a greater understanding of things. And if you don't, then you do stupid things, which is like to sell your Bitcoin. You cannot sell Bitcoin. Bitcoin is not something you sell. It is like the S&P of crypto. You need to hold it and hodl it and love it. You have to, because it will always do you right. And it has. It's at a 14% in the month. There's very few tokens above it. I mean, these are all, a lot of the stuff is very highly risky. I mean, I did own Virtual at one point. Wow, that went way up. BitTensor is something I did look into buying, and I actually did look into FET to buy also. So these are the tokens I have been looking at. I do own a very small amount of FET, which is Artificial Superintelligence Alliance, a very small amount. I was trying to slowly buy in, but it kind of ran away from me. So these are the things I am looking to buy. And BitTensor, when it was lower, I was looking to buy it. Now it's worth more than ICP, because these projects, they're different than ICP. They're kind of in the same realm of ICP. I think ICP actually has better technology, but they have better hype. They have better marketing. They have better people around them, it seems. For some reason, ICP doesn't have that. It's like it's always struggling. And I don't want to be a part of the struggling community, because God knows when it comes up. And then when it comes up, the foundation dumps on you. That I cannot tolerate. That is just kind of becoming my sticking point at this point. Now, Fabio actually has a really good Twitter. He actually puts a lot of great information on his Twitter. And I suggest you guys look at it. And for the most part, if you go to Fabio's page, you just don't understand why ICP is even going down. It doesn't make sense. Lowest amount of ICP on exchanges, lower than ETH, lower than BTC. How come it keeps going down? It's because there's no demand. Supply and demand. It's very simple. Where is the demand? There is no demand. That's the problem. Now, a lot of these tokens have started to go up, which is the ones on the ICP network ecosystem, but ICP itself is not going up. And the reason is because a little bit of buying, there's not a lot of liquidity over there. A little bit of buying, and there's one guy that's buying a lot, is kind of shooting up the prices. So you got to kind of look a little bit deeper sometimes of what's going on. ICP is the 7th most burned or making revenues in all of crypto. To be honest with you, that's very good. But why is it undervalued everything basically on this board? That's another question you need to ask. What is the foundation not doing right? Is the foundation more concerned about just selling and having enough money to make every monthly paycheck and keeping the foundation going versus actually caring about the price? Or does the foundation actually just not even care about the price? They're like, we're making our money by selling our tokens every month and we're paying ourselves a fat salary. Is Dominique going, I just get a nice fat salary every month. I don't really care what happens. That's a possibility too. That does happen within a lot of these teams, you know? And then you can see the burns are going well. He's very bullish. He's always bullish, but it's never worked. I've never seen someone so bullish all the time. ICP bears just got ragged. They did. Shorts liquidated. I don't know about this one, man. Fabio, I don't know about that one. It's been going down since April 23rd. Burn cycles are going up. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to bring a little bit more of that other voice, the dissenting voice, and what to do out there. So what are we going to invest in? What are we going to do? Now you know about ICP. You can look up all the information. You can even go to their dashboard, this great looking dashboard that probably cost $10 million to make, that provided zero value to any holders, but probably cost $10 million to make. So what did I tell my buddy to buy? All right. Also, Bob is out. Somebody actually posted Bob is outperforming ICP, and I do own quite a bit of Bob. And guess what? It is. Bob is doing absolutely great. Bob is one of the projects I would definitely go into. Cast is another project. It's on AVAX. I'll just go really quickly on this. Cast is a project on AVAX, which is basically like AdSense or ad network, but for Twitter kind of projects like Arena or Blue Sky. They're going to roll out on Blue Sky. I think once they roll, it's only $150,000 market cap. Once they roll out in Blue Sky, this thing is going to go through the roof. I think this thing is going to go into the millions of dollars. This is really early, as you can tell. I was literally buying back here, guys. $50, $60, $40,000 market cap. I was early in this, okay? And then you can stake it. Oh, actually, they have a partnership with this other token called LFG, which is on the BNB chain, and I think it's going to go cross chain, where they're going to stake it in there. They have a meme staking platform. So these are the great projects that I'm looking at. Stuff like Cast, stuff like Bob, even Alice. I'm going to bring up Alice for you in a second. I think LFG is going to go gangbusters because they're also going to come out with a decentralized casino. And yes, I've told them to put it on ICP. You know what they did? They laughed at me. It's not like they don't like ICP. Their devs have actually built on ICP, but they said, listen, they said, Dowking, it's just too hard. It takes too much time. We don't want to, we already know how to set it up. And I said, well, what about taking payments in different ICP tokens? They said they'd have to come to us. We'd have to figure it out. They're like, it's just more complicated. And that's something, the pushback you get, even though there's a lot of developers on ICP, it's kind of a pushback I've seen that's happening. But LFG with its decentralized casino, meme staking, and I think they have another project also that they're coming out with, has one of the highest projects. It's an ohm fork, has one of the highest potential projects. This thing could easily go into the $5-10 million realms once all these projects are out. And it just started, I think, like 3 weeks ago or something. Yeah, something like 3 weeks ago. It's kind of near its lows. Hopefully it kind of bounces up. It's already gone up to about 90 cents. This thing can easily go because the liquidity pool is so tiny. Same thing with Cast. Cast is same. Liquidity pool is only $26,000. This thing, these kind of projects can erupt on any good news or any partnerships. That's kind of like high risk stuff. Understand, these are very, 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 very high risk. One sell could also bring them way down. But at the same time, can you make more money on these than ICP? I already have. I've made multiples on Cast. Okay, LFG, I am up because I bought the dip. I probably doubled my money. So this is why you want to have money slushing around at different things, because when LFG when it dipped, when some whale sold off, guess who was buying? I was buying. Okay, I think my average cost on those buys was close to like maybe high 30s, high 40s, and you can see it's already double that. And I'm not even thinking about selling till this gets into the $5 million market cap, which is like a 10x from here. I'm personally not even thinking about it. I think this thing's going to run. I think it has a great team. So that's kind of stuff I'm looking at. Arena is a bigger project on AVAX. Market cap is only $12.5 million. This is the kind of project the Cast system works on Arena. Basically, it is like a AdWords of it, basically. So Arena, I think, could be one of those tokens that goes to $100-200 million in the bull run, because it is kind of like Twitter, but for the AVAX community. It's huge. There's so many great projects. These are more DeFi projects. But let's look at what I told my buddy to sell. So these are some of the better projects, quality projects. And I do like Alice, by the way. I do like Alice, and I do own a bit of Alice. By the way, the Bitfinity wallet, get your stuff off of Bitfinity wallet also. Bitfinity wallet is not working. They're not updating it. I got it off. My Alice is stuck on my Bitfinity wallet, but it's the only one that won't transfer. I'll probably try it again today, but Alice is doing great. You can also stake it in the NNS. So I think Alice, Bob, for the ICP projects, I think they will outperform ICP because they don't have as much liquidity. It's easier to go up, and they're kind of becoming cult coins within the ICP community. So these are the kind of stuff I'm looking at in ICP community. Now, outside of it, what did I tell my buddy to buy? These are the things, this is the kind of portfolio I would have liked to set up if I was doing it now, okay? I told him to buy some Bitcoin. I told him to make Bitcoin at least 30% of your portfolio. It was actually about a third of my portfolio a couple years ago, but it's grown since when I was buying in the 20s that it is now well over half of my portfolio. That's kind of what you want. That's kind of what you want. Then I told him, let's go down the list. Told him to buy some Chainlink. Chainlink is an important token. People are using it. It has great utility and it is showing great strength. The chart on Chainlink looks absolutely fantastic. These are the kind of charts that make you go, I wish I wasn't in ICP. Okay? Let's bring up the 1 year chart. All right, it went all the way to 25 and it's been very steady. It's kind of at the lows. And I was actually in it around here. I bought a little bit, but I did sell it when it pumped up here. But it's shown just some great strength. It's just holding on to those gains. It was around $10 and went all the way to $30. I can definitely see this going back into its old highs, $50, $60 once the bull run comes. This is a kind of project that's going to get you a nice 3 to 4, maybe 5x. These are the kind of projects that you look at. I told him to buy some AVAX. AVAX is a wild horse. AVAX is one of those ones that can do 10x or it can do 5x. Okay. I didn't think AVAX was going to drop below this $20 mark, and it did. It went down like $17, $18, which again, AVAX has some inflation, which inflation, as we've seen, does hurt a project. So there might have been some of that going on. It hit 50 twice. I do believe next time it's going to go way past 50. I think it goes into the $60 to $70 mark. I might be a seller of it in those ranges, but I did pick up a lot of cheap AVAX in the $20 and below range. So I'm okay. AVAX is one of my larger holdings because I think AVAX is going to outperform the market, especially when alt season starts. And alt season will not start till Ethereum kind of starts to wake up a little bit, gets to $3,000-4,000+ range, hits new all-time highs, which I think is going to happen, but maybe not on the timeline everyone is thinking, okay? So that's where I would be. A lot of people like Hyperliquid. You can stake it, you can earn rewards on it. I don't know enough about it, but a lot of my crypto buds are in it big time, and they talk the world of it. I didn't tell my friend to buy that one. Now, when we come down here, what did I tell him to buy? And he's up actually pretty big on it. Near. When he bought Near, it was about $2. So it's up a little bit more. I did tell him to pick up some BitTensor and some FET. Where is FET? Is it smaller than ICP? Okay. And then I told him to buy some Internet Computer, which is the only one he's actually down on. Oh, there's FET. Okay. He's doing great on FET. He's doing absolutely incredible on FET. He's crushing it. He's up big time. He thinks crypto's easy now. And then the other one I told him to buy, which is Sonic. Sonic is absolutely great. This is a great portfolio. It's got a little bit of DeFi. It's a little bit of artificial intelligence. It's got a little bit of an L1, a little bit of Chainlink, and a little bit of Bitcoin. It's got a little bit of everything that's kind of covering you in different areas. And it's got a little bit of ICP. Not a lot. I told him a little bit, 5-10% max if you want. So if you look at Sonic, I think Sonic is the kind of the DeFi protocol, has one of the highest potentials. This was obviously Phantom before. 40 cents, 35 cents is kind of like, to me, like it's kind of free. I think this thing, like Phantom went about 350 in the last bull run. I think Sonic can do more. I think Sonic can get into those $5 to $10 marks. Okay. So then that's the question. Why would you be buying ICP? Like I see people like, oh, all my bags are in ICP or I'm in the 8-year gang. Congrats. You're not going to get some of the gains you think you're going to get if you don't have a portfolio. If you do not have a portfolio. Oh, I actually did tell him to buy the graph too. Totally forgot. He bought it around 7 cents actually. It was very recent. You know, the fact that graph has outperformed ICP is just like blows my mind. And it's not a very good token. It hasn't performed very well. Yeah, he bought it around 7 cents, and now he's at like 9.5 cents, almost 10 cents. His gains have been spectacular. The fact that the graph has outperformed ICP from the bottoms, I mean, from down here, it just boggles the mind. The graph itself is an interesting project. I told him it's one of the more higher risk ones. Don't put more than like a few $1,000s in it, 1 or 2,000. Keep it 1 to 2%. There's a potential that the graph could explode. There is a potential that it could go into the 50 cents or a dollar or more. It has done some great stuff in the past, you can see, but it had less tokens. But I think, you know, there is a potential for it to go higher. But again, it's a very, very high risk project. This other high risk project that I really like is an American project called DAG. I own a decent amount of it. At this price, it's cheap. I told him to buy this too, but the problem is he doesn't know how to buy it because it's only on MEXC and KuCoin and all these weird exchanges he doesn't know anything about. So he had a hard time buying it. He wasn't able to buy it. But if you can, this is one of the projects I do like. You can see circulating supply and total supply are kind of ended with the inflation. It's been kind of like hit 8 cents. It's kind of been dribbling down. But the fact of the matter is this is a US-based project, and you know US-based projects are going to do well. It works with the military. You know, they have contracts with the military. This is not to be slept on. I think all it needs is one big contract or one big boost. Something happens. This thing's flying well over $1. It's another dark horse. Do I think it will outperform ICP? I'm actually going to say yes. I actually do. Because it's only $135 million market cap. From here, if it does 10x, it's 37 cents. Can it get to 37 cents? Could we see something like that? Yeah, possibly. Do I think ICP is going to do a 10x? No, because the foundation is going to dump on it. That's what they've been doing. And those whales who are staked, who are getting their rewards, they stake 1 million ICP, they get 130,000 ICP a year. They're going to sell on it. Everyone's going to sell on it. Okay? That's to understand the tokenomics. At some point, ICP needs to wake up a little bit and understand that the way they're set up is not going to be conducive to the price unless they get mass adoption. And I've said this always. Are they going to be able to get mass adoption? Is ICP going to be able to get mass adoption? Caffeine AI. Literally everything rides on Caffeine AI. If Caffeine AI can come out sometime this year and they gain mass adoption, then yes. But if Caffeine AI comes out and it's basically a ghost town and continues to be a ghost chain like it has been and no one uses it, then I would probably at that point say ICP is done. It's just done. It's just done. So this is not FUD. This is reality. This is the truth. Some people can't handle it. That's why they yell at me on X and they write stupid comments. But I only bring the truth. That's it. That's all there is to it. I only bring the reality of what is going on with the ICP token. A lot of great stuff, but also a lot of not so great stuff. That's just the facts. And it's not FUD. It's facts. Okay? Best of luck out there. Diversify, especially if you listen to Jerry Banfield and you put all your money in ICP, you're probably a little wrecked, but do not keep buying ICP. I certainly have stopped. So what would it make me to buy? It would have to be the performance of Caffeine AI. That is the only thing that can save them at this point. Will it save them? Hasn't even been launched yet. Time will tell. I wish everyone in the ICP community the best of luck. I will be the voice of reason. I will be the counterweight to all the stupidity that I see. And it is what it is. Best of luck.